book today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome in to the Fitness Fanatics. It is Sunday, January 26th, Championship Sunday for the NFL. Oh, what do we got? We're live? Okay, good.
Did it, Harrison?
Yeah, I fixed it.
Good job.
We're working it out here. So, I've been trying to watch these shows, and they're like just showing up on Facebook stories. We are figuring that out.
We've been troubleshooting.
But we're good.
You have.
Yeah.
Good job.
We're good.
So we're good this time. So you can go on Facebook and actually watch it, and then go back, and after 24 hours, it won't go away. It'll still be there.
All right, awesome. Well, before we get started, I have a quick update on the mouse situation. Like we talked last week, I was trying to.
Yeah, you have a whole family adopted in your car, it sounds like.
Yes. So we left the show last week. I was going to go buy some traps. The old wooden spring. So we got a couple traps at Super Saver. They were 85 cents for 2 traps. Put one in my car Sunday night. Monday morning, had a mouse.
Dead. Which I feel bad. I feel like he could have live trapped it.
You think it's just one, though?
Well, it gets better. So flip that in the garbage. Put another trap in there.
2 days later. You didn't the next day because we were just like, oh, that was it. And then.
No, I put it in.
I don't think you did.
Yeah, it was in there for, maybe Monday night or Tuesday morning, there was nothing. Wednesday morning, there was nothing. Trap was still there. Thursday morning, the trap was set off. Peanut butter, piece of dog food was gone.
They're learning.
So learn. So I put I reset it with fresh peanut butter. Friday morning, got another mouse. So I got 2 mice in the week. So I put another trap out there just to see if I had more. Hadn't caught any, and then so we're trying to lure them into complacency.
Think of that like, okay, so
the trap's gone now. We put a little dog food out. Try to get them back if there's more. Like, ooh, here we go. But the second mouse was a little bit bigger than the first one. So the first one might have been like the scout, like go get me food, right? And the first one's goes and gets the food, brings it back to the second one. So the second one, I think, was just kind of eaten over the 3-day period, of all the dog food they've stored up in my car for the last couple weeks. And then it was out of food, came out and got it. So
I don't like it. All I picture is just those little mice finding their little beds and curling up to sleep. And now they're dead.
Mom goes out to get food, never comes back.
You could have just done a live trap.
Nope.
Yeah, but a live trap where you put it in your car.
Yeah, put it in the trunk still. And they just have to go inside and just scoops them in.
Yeah, they're
and then you
smarter
just
than
go
that.
let them out.
We tried that live trap at the gym in Altoona,
That
and it
was
didn't
the
work.
super mouse, though.
Well, didn't work. I think the second one would have been too big to fit in there. It was a big mouse.
Oh,
But
it's been
anyway,
eating a lot of your dog food.
Yeah.
So.
I know,
Well,
right?
but
Be
you
big by
didn't
now.
have dog food except that one time. Like, I don't know what it's been eating in your car unless it.
There was a lot of dog food that they piled in, stored in their little house, probably. So it kept it full for 3 days.
Yeah, I know. But prior to that, when
I don't know
you
what they were
weren't
doing.
sure if there was still a mouse, because our pest control, like, we knew that we had mice in the garage before. And so they put out like bait traps. And so we thought maybe that took care of it, because they were like, you probably won't find them because it's just poison and then they go die or whatever. And so we hadn't even really thought about it being in your car until then. So how long have they been in there? And like I said, we store some of our dried goods out in the garage, and I'd always look at it like there's a little bag of dog treats that we give our dog when she comes in from going outside, and they're never chewed into that. So they didn't venture away from your car.
No,
I don't think they got in the
There's
garage.
a cache of dog food somewhere.
There
in
had
your
to have
car.
been something.
You probably open one of the doors, probably pour out with dog food.
He wants to look under the liner in the trunk, like where the spare tire
That's
is.
what I would do. It's
That's
probably
what we're
need a
thinking,
vacuum
but
underneath
he's
there too.
But I was a
afraid.
little scared to open it. I didn't want to know what was in there.
We tried, but
yeah, so that's a
quite
little
do it.
update on the mice. I know everybody was concerned. We had people texting in about what to get, what type of trap. So we got
I
it.
had people asking
Yep,
me
and we
about
got
it.
two
The
of
ones I
them.
never understand are the glue traps. Those ones
Those
the
are
worst.
terrible. That is terrible.
Oh, they're just not very effective, because then what do you do with
I
it
just
after?
remember
Right.
the
That's all-
old,
like,
Yeah,
you gotta get
That's
rid of it.
the
It's-
worst.
well, the old glue trap. I remember for like roaches.
Yeah, those make sense. It's better for bugs. Like we used to
Mhm.
have them for spiders.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
our front door.
And then you
Ugh.
look in the box and there'd be like three or like my mom, like one of her first apartments she lived in after my parents got divorced. We kind of nicknamed it the Roach Motel, because there was, and she had those kind of all over, and you'd look in. And then
That's
I don't know if
gross.
you've ever seen like Nightmare on Elm Street, but one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets, like part 5, I think, had where Freddy made a roach motel and people got stuck in it.
That's terrible.
That was pretty
A
terrifying.
roach motel.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what those were called. That's what those traps were called.
They're
Like,
called roach motels.
Oh,
yeah, that's also
okay.
what they kind of called them. I don't know if that was slang or if it was like an actual brand or whatever, but it was like, because they'd all get
Yeah,
stuck in there.
They're what they
gross.
It's
Yeah.
well, it's the glue. It's the glue that's in there.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I think that my mom's first apartment kind of terrified me of roaches because she had them, and I remember as a kid looking in that box and there's a bunch in there. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
They gross me out more than anything else.
I think we've seen
Yeah,
I
they're
can deal with spiders over roaches.
since we've been married. I'm in our very first apartment. I remember waking up and we found one roach in our first apartment, and I couldn't sleep. I was just like,
I'd be
and then
the
there
same.
was
talking in your sleep.
Yeah, there was that episode of, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Creep Show,
Probably
I don't
not.
think so.
but
Probably not.
it was just, it's kind of like horror stories, and one of them was this neat freak that he'd clean everything, and he found a roach, and his apartment was all just like supposed to be proof, or
Spotless.
yeah. And then he'd see one, and one comes up the drain, and then basically he dies because the whole apartment was roaches.
I would die too,
I
probably.
think that just has me so paranoid. Like,
Yeah, that was
if we
a rough
found
time
one in our
for you.
house, I'd be moving out probably.
When I got first down to Lincoln, we skated so long on trying to find a place to stay.
Yeah.
So we called it, I think it was like 626 or somewhere around there. Yeah, we found roaches like right away.
Yeah.
It was like
Ugh.
first night, and then we got out of the lease, luckily, because we also found some mold. So
Oh,
there's
Yeah,
like, we found
apartments
some
are-
lease breaking requirements that let us get out of it. But yeah, that was,
That's
we were
hard.
sitting, because we saw like one, and it's kind of like, okay, this is not good.
Mhm.
And then we're sleeping there at night in the classic where you see it crawl in and out of the vent.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's time to go. We're going to figure this
This
out.
is just,
There
And
goes
they,
my brother.
like- oh,
Oh,
is
it's
that
your brother?
Yeah, that's Houston Orange.
Oh, nice.
now
One
didn't,
and only.
didn't Sipple and
What's he
Jake
in town
say
for?
that he looked like somebody when you were on their show? Remember?
Or
maybe
that
that
looked
was-
like me.
That was you. You look
Yeah.
like some famous singer.
Oh, Tom Petty.
Oh, okay.
It's because I had extra bowl cut. Kind of getting close to there again.
Oh,
but-
you looked like Tom Petty.
Yeah, not
Oh.
so much Houston.
Okay. He's
Okay.
not from here though, is he?
Houston?
Yeah.
No, he's my brother. We're from Hartington.
I know, but what's he doing down here?
Oh, yeah, he lives in Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
He's a therapist
Oh, okay. So he's just chilling.
or psychologist. Excuse me. I'm not entirely sure. what he's
I
got a
think that's a
degree in
step up.
psychology.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
He's kind of like,
He's just out for a stroll
was like
this morning.
when my sister's on, like, I don't know what she does.
Well, I consider it a compliment. Like, I don't know enough because I'm not worried because he's got it covered.
Yeah.
That's how confident I am.
I love those like TikToks where like groups of friends get together and they create PowerPoint presentations explaining what they do for their job because you don't know what anything that your friends
I
actually
saw someone do
do.
Christmas.
Yeah.
And they brought their family. I'm like, that's great.
That is hilarious.
That is every 20-year-old person's
Right.
worst nightmare. Because like when they want to go home for family, like, oh, finally done with work, done with school. Like I don't got to worry about this. And then everyone's like, so how's school? How's work? You're like, I don't want to talk about this.
PowerPoint presentation for everybody. I think that would be actually really fun.
They're funny too.
Yeah.
Because like some of this, you really have no idea.
I know.
Like you just know the titles, not what they do.
Yeah. There's a lot of titles. I don't know what that actually means. So I think that's funny.
Well, we do have a guest coming up here after our first break. Annalisa Davenport is going to be here. She is one of the directors for employee wellness at the University of Nebraska. So we're going to be chatting with her for the rest of the show here. So we're excited about that. She's already here, kind of hanging out, waiting for us to get done with our jibber jabber talk here. But I do want to.
I said we talk about nothing that offended Harrison. So random. We have a random segment.
No, this next thing I want to get into is just some pretty serious stuff, right?
Okay.
So last Sunday in our house, we were watching Ravens Bills. Nicole had already gone to bed, so
I don't stay up for football. I don't stay up for sports.
She wasn't up. She went to bed at halftime, or I don't even
Packers
remember
went to sleep too, so it's all right.
They were already done.
They played a couple weeks ago.
They were done.
So we're watching. Then, if you watch the game, you kind of know the
series of unfortunate events.
3 turnovers, drop 2-point conversion. Just the Ravens punted one time, but every loss they've had, and we watched. I mean, I'm a Bears fan, but the kids kind of take over the house, so the Ravens games are on with the volume up. And every game they've lost this year is self-inflicted wounds, right?
Yep.
Turnover, missed field goals by Tucker. I mean, every game
Drop
they've lost.
passes has been the signature, whether it's on defense or offense. They've had so many chances to seal a game with a pick or just get a third down. I don't know why. The Ravens have the most dropped passes out of any team. I don't know if that's for sure, but when I watch them, it feels like that every week.
And they haven't been blown out of a game since 2021 against when the Bengals lit them up. Like
which makes it so much harder to watch.
All their games are so close. They just blow leads. I mean, that's just kind of what they've done. And so, kind of during the game, it's an emotional roller coaster in the house, and so they lose, and Ben he's just like,
done with football. He's done watching football.
We're watching these games, and I'm just like,
he wants to be, but he will never be.
Well, so as
comes
the
around,
as the week goes on, it's like he's telling Nicole he's just gonna pick up a shift today. He doesn't really care. He doesn't want to
go to work for fun.
Yeah, he's gonna work. He's
not even gonna watch football Sunday.
During the game, he was like
Tuesday.
I'm cheering for the Chiefs. I don't care. I don't want the Bills. He's just beside himself.
Which Culver's does he work at? I've been meaning to get him a Mark Andrews jersey. I'll just swing by and drop it off.
Well, spoiler alert, he came around. He's not going to work today.
But as throughout the week, we're watching these games, and it's interesting how emotionally invested we get.
Yeah, sometimes it's pathetic for a guy like me, I'll be honest.
See, that's why you just go to sleep.
And, we're watching these games, and it's like, the final play where they do the 2-point conversion, and as you're watching it on television, it looks like he has it, right?
He did.
So we're just
he literally
cheering, and then the ball bounces out. And so everybody in the room is just, we've seen like a couple years ago when they were playing the Bengals in the playoffs, they were down at the 1-yard line, and Lamar, this was the year Lamar was hurt. Huntley reaches the ball over to go up by 7. The ball gets knocked out, and the Bengals return it 100 yards for a touchdown. Like, we're just sitting there like, just can't believe what we're watching.
It's like the Commanders Bears game, probably like that silence where nobody says anything.
It was worse for the Bears.
Well, that one's probably an all-timer.
That was
my
all-time terrible atmosphere.
And nobody wanted to speak.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
Because it was my team, right?
Even the memory is chilling.
Everybody's just quiet.
All of us just like looking with our eyes, not even wanting to turn our heads, trying to make eye contact with anyone but you.
It was just...
I just imagine like the windows frosting over
immediately.
Yeah, it was bad. But-
didn't. It must not have been that much of a reaction because our bedroom is right under basically the living room. So it didn't wake me up, whatever happened.
Well, we weren't jumping up and down.
Yeah, I woke up to you standing over me. The Ravens lost. Probably could have waited till the morning for that.
And things happened to them. Like that was Mark Andrews' first lost fumble since 2019.
Yeah, that's rough.
Like just stuff like that.
7 fumbles in his career, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Which is unreal.
Oh.
And it was now that fumble was a great play by the defense. Like he
fumble
punched
was,
it out. The drop. I mean,
That was like remember when Levante David got that strip sack versus Ohio State when we had that
Oh,
huge
yeah.
comeback? Like that was like kind of like that's just a fantastic play by the
Yes,
defense. Like
yes.
just literally came in there and ripped it out at the last moment.
yeah. So stuff, and then it's like on the Mars fumble, the play before, Mark Andrews dropped a pass that would have had him 2nd and 2 from the 20. He drops it.
Mhm.
So now it's 2nd and 10, and they're in shotgun, and the ball is hiked to his left. It's just that's like I remember one game we were watching. So Lamar's lost 2 games to NFC opponents in his career. One was to the Eagles this year. The one was like 4 years ago to the Giants. And we're watching that game, and they get a first down, but then they're called for a false start, right? So it would have been 1st and 10. They're called for a false start. Then on the next play, Lamar fumbles, and they return it for a touchdown. Like that never would have happened if they just would have got the first down. It's just stuff like that for them, and it almost feels like we're watching Nebraska when we're watching Baltimore. They're
bad.
They just self-inflicted, and it's just
kind of like the Bo Pelini Ravens.
Yeah.
And that's what Ben had said today, because he was just talking about, well, I'd rather have them have lost last week to the Bills than get screwed by the refs with the Chiefs.
You see that little meme going around of a conversation between Jim Nantz and Tony Romo?
Oh, maybe I've seen a lot of them.
Like for
depends
for
which one.
today's game.
Oh, no,
where
I haven't seen that yet.
It's like Jim Nantz is saying
like what to do.
Pass intercepted by Johnson. The Buffalo Bills are headed to their first Super Bowl in 31 years. And then Tony Romo says, "Oh, Jim, there's a late flag." Like
we're gonna hear that.
You
today.
can hear it.
We're
like,
gonna hear that today. Oh, Jim, I don't know, Jim.
The late flag.
There's some laundry on the field.
Oh,
looks like it's coming back, Jim. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think the kids are there more kind of like, okay, it's over.
Yeah,
They are a little relieved.
But
now that they've grieved.
we get so emotionally invested in things we have zero control over.
Yep.
Like zero control. But yet, when it comes to ourselves, and this is a health show, sometimes
Eventually.
we don't get emotionally
That's
invested.
what I say about we're hard on ourselves about the things we can't control, and we're easy on ourselves about the things that we can control. Like
Right.
we're easy on ourselves about hitting snooze and not going to the gym to hit the workout because we're tired. We're easy on ourselves about that, but we're hard on ourselves about stupid things that don't matter.
Like, well, the football games matter, but
they don't.
we're hard on ourselves, things we can't control. Like that is we're just, everybody in the house is just like, Ben's he's just an emotional train wreck for the first 5 days.
Every day, but like you miss a workout, you're not thinking about it 3 days later.
No.
Like, oh, I really shouldn't have, blah, 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 blah. You don't do that. Oh my gosh, I don't know what that squirrel is doing, but it was so cute. Sorry. But so yeah, that's one of my favorite things that I like to tell myself. Like, am I being hard on myself about the right things, the things that are going to actually make a difference?
Yeah. Like I literally sometimes wonder, like, if my life would be better if I was not a sports fan. Like less stressful.
For you, maybe if you'd made better choices.
I don't know. I'd like to think I'd learn a lot of hardships this way. And if I
That's
didn't
true.
get them through sports, I'd have to
Resilience.
figure it out somewhere else.
How to cope
some
with
resilience.
disappointment.
Yeah, how to cope with disappointment.
Yeah. And I looked at Ben, I was like, hey, I had to do some dad coaching, right?
I've been doing this
Over
for
the-
years, son.
This was Thursday, right? You had texted me and you
Yeah.
said, okay, Ben's back on board.
He's back on board. He was going to be cheering for the Chiefs. And then it got to the point where Katie was like, tell Ben if he's going to cheer for the Chiefs, he can go to his girlfriend's house. Like, I mean, it was
Not
getting,
in this house.
it was getting this
a little chippy in the,
this
in the
little
household.
hostile. Yeah. Yes, because
Go
our
to his
daughter,
girlfriend's
Well,
house.
because Ben, being an 18-year-old boy, can be a little relentless
Mhm.
with his opinions. So
Oh yeah, I think every man's been
the
through
last that Packers game, I had to leave and it wasn't because of the game. It was because of Ben, because he was just irritating me.
He was
So,
getting
right?
He was getting a little like, oh, Jordan, like he was getting a little, you know,
yeah.
Little
Just
mouthy about it.
little mouthy. Yeah.
It's
So
a rite
I'm
of
like,
passage.
I'm not gonna fuel it. I didn't. I just left. I had enough things to do, but
You were gonna leave anyway.
I was. But I left a little earlier than planned. I was gonna leave at halftime, but I didn't because I couldn't handle it. I was gonna say something I would regret.
Yeah.
He'll learn, because I used to be like that, and then you keep talking, and then you realize you get burned
Well,
way
and-
more than you don't, and then
And
you just stop.
I was, I lived in Iowa as a teenager. I had corn cob stuck in my
Doesn't
locker.
make
Yeah.
it special.
And
That's-
did I bring it up on myself? Absolutely. I was yapping I wore Nebraska stuff every day in school. Nebraska shirt every day. That's what I wore. So I brought them on myself. But I'll tell you what, I had the last laugh. 'Cause they
Hey.
didn't lose a game my last 2 years in high school.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I had the last laugh. And I heard you and Jay were talking about doing like football practice, like running through.
Oh yeah, like, I was one of the walls. I don't think you can do that anymore. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's banned, but on special teams, we're talking about one of the guys on his team, just a freak athlete, just an animal, was one of the wedge busters, and that position just sucks. If you're the wall, the wedge buster's not so bad.
Did you guys have that? So our school, we didn't have enough money to have the nice things that you run through. So we
Like
had
the dummies?
tires, like tires that you ran through the tires.
Oh yeah, we
You
had
remember that?
we had like little donut wheels and some pad stuff.
Yeah, you just kind of,
Yeah.
but they were like tires. So I remember
Like
the
staggered.
Yep,
Yeah.
staggered. So you had to run through 'em. I remember the first time I
That would
got
be
up there
fun.
for practice, I got stuck in there.
And a tire?
No, not your feet. They were like on a little, like kind of up where you ran through them. Not
Yeah,
like,
like
choo, choo,
instead
choo,
of the
choo, choo.
dummies where you run through,
So
it
you
like-
was like tires.
Yeah, it's like a running back drill. where you
Yeah,
gotta-
yeah.
Yeah, like real high schools have like pads, like you're kind of staggering. You run through the pads.
Yeah, I
and-
know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, these were tires because it was Waukee and we didn't have any money to get real cool stuff. But I remember I got stuck in there the first time, and the coach wasn't waiting for me to get out. So the whistle blows, whoop, and here comes the other running back. Just runs right into me, pushes me through.
He's got you. He'll help you out.
Yeah, just I'll tell you what though, I never got stuck in there again. I was ready the next
Well,
time.
if
Yeah.
it was your first time and you didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. And
It
I
is a
just-
lot harder than you like. You can
Yeah.
see there's a video. It's hilarious. It's Jameis Winston going through one of those running back drills when I think he's with the Buccaneers or Browns. I can't remember. And he almost gets stuck in the middle. He comes
see?
tumbling out of that thing. And that's like an NFL quarterback who's playing football.
Yeah, I got stuck. And I remember that running back. Coach is blowing a whistle every 5
Yeah.
seconds or whatever. And he just pushed me right on through. And people wonder why I never played varsity football. Well,
Nobody wonders. You've told enough stories. We got it. We know why you didn't play.
I think I may have played
Out
it.
and clear.
And I stuck through it, but oh well. That's life. So anyway, we got
You had
two,
important basketball games to play
Yep.
during halftime.
Yep, 2 games today. We're excited. Harrison, before we get our guests in here, who do we got for today's? Who do you think's going to win the games today?
We're looking at a Bills Eagles Super Bowl. I think it's Bills Eagles.
Well, gun to your head, you're taking the Bills.
I am taking the Bills. I am.
It's so hard for me to
Not
believe
factor
that
in.
the Chiefs will not win this game. I mean, there has to be 0 seconds on the clock with no flags on the field till I will believe it happened.
That's true.
Because up until Mahomes has lost 3 playoff games, 2 to Brady,
Mm-hmm.
1 was in overtime, and to Joe Burrow in overtime.
Okay, but
That is
in
ridiculous.
those games, in those losses, there's always times where their opponent didn't play perfectly, right? Like there has to be a point where a team can
Everything-
dominate to the point where
Outside of the Bills OT loss where they changed the rules, but the Bills were just playing.
Yeah.
That one hurt the most
You
because
see,
the Bills
you-
were strike for strike,
you
and
think-
then the game just
Yeah.
ended.
You think that, but you think Travis Kelce drops that 2-point conversion that Andrews dropped? Nope, he wouldn't drop it.
He wouldn't, but I also feel like, oh man, the Bills this year, at some point,
it's hard for us to say that
This is
because we
the-
watched them lose.
it's just the worst version of the Chiefs
In
game
the
I've seen.
stadium.
So if it doesn't happen
But
this year, I don't.
It's the worst version, and they went 15-1.
Yeah, but if you look at that 15-1, it's unreal. They've
I-
only scored 30
That's
points
true.
once all season.
I know, but
Yes.
they just
They only do what they need to do, and that's what good teams do.
Well, I'll tell you where I think Jay's right. I think he nailed it. When you look at the Chiefs, their DC, their OC, like none of those guys are ever going anywhere. Whereas opposed to like when we're talking about the Commanders, if you're Cliff Kingsbury, like even if you're not
right,
you're all you mean to do is focus on this game. Like you still have to do the meetings and interviews, and you gotta have that stuff ready, prep work. Like that bandwidth is limited, and you always got to change. Like the Chiefs have that's just system has been churning forever.
Well, that's
those
why
guys aren't leaving.
I think if the Bears hire that Dennis Allen, like he's not going anywhere. He's been a head coach. He'll be there for a while. And I do like
JT Daniels as the QB coach too, which I like. I think that's smart.
JT Barrett.
Oh yeah, what I said Daniels.
Yeah,
yeah, JT Barrett. Thank you.
No, and I heard a good point about the Bears hired an offensive coach. A great point. We've heard people say, "Oh, that Dan Orlovsky 4 years ago, he was like." The Bears made a mistake. They should have hired an offensive coach to go with Justin Fields. Blah, blah, blah. And then now he's like, oh, you've seen in recent trends, the defensive coaches are getting the come on, dude. But the good thing about having an offensive coach is that he's not going anywhere, right? So like you look at Washington, we were just you're talking about Cliff Kingsbury. So yeah, you have a defensive coach in Dan Quinn. Well, Kingsbury, he's eventually going to get a job and go somewhere else, right?
Yeah, he'll get off.
So now you're going to go through offensive coordinator after offensive coordinator if they're good. Where in Chicago, the offensive coordinator is the head coach, basically. But so I like it.
It does, like, you get a little more stability.
Yeah,
when you do it that way. Or you're Andy Reid and you just really got two guys that have been through it so much that they're just kind of settled. Like, well, you're not going to see Spagnuolo. He's never going to go out there and try to be head coach again.
And Andy Reid, he is the offensive coordinator.
Yes.
Matt Nagy and Eric Bieniemy, they were just token offensive coordinators. Yeah. Like they're not really calling plays. The Andy Reid was calling plays. So hopefully the whiz kid in Chicago can do the same thing.
Yeah, and hopefully the Bills are going to win today.
I'm hope that listen, we're all in on the Bills in this game.
I think everybody, well, you can look at the map. It's like the entire world outside of Kansas City is going for the Bills pretty much today.
I'm kind of just whatever on the NFC. Like I'm kind of the Bears should have took Jaden Daniels. So I'm hoping the Eagles win.
I'm all up for the Eagles.
And you get Cam Jurgens, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'd be starting the Super Bowl.
Which would be super cool.
That would be awesome.
And I got nothing against the Commanders. I don't want to hear the Daniels Williams comparisons anymore. Like he's awesome. Like you caught me. He's great.
He is good.
I hope Williams continues to be.
Yep. All right, we're gonna go to break. We'll be back here. Stay with us on 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through January 26th, enjoy USDA Choice 8-ounce New York strip steaks for $6.88 each, thick-cut Iowa pork chops for $1.99 per pound, fresh ham loaves for $2.99 per pound, and Busch Light 30-packs for $18.99. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services, as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever, just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to the Fitness Fanatics. We are joined in studio by Annalisa. She is the, correct me if I'm wrong, Director of Employee Wellness at UNL?
Assistant director.
Oh,
but yeah.
assistant. Well, geez, we
Got
should
a
have
promoter.
we should have went after the big wig. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. Well, we appreciate you taking time out of your Sunday to come in. Looking forward to having this conversation with you, just to see about what you do over at UNL and incorporating health and fitness and wellness to try to get all those employees over there to do something.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me here.
All right. Well, so first thing we would like to know is get to know you a little bit better, and for our listeners to get to know you. So the questions we like to ask is, where did you grow up? Where did you go to high school? And were you active? Like, what sports did you play in growing up?
Yeah, so I am originally from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, so East Coast. A really good locator for that is a suburb of Springfield, Massachusetts, which is the birthplace of basketball.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And so you said where I was from, and then
what sports?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the majority of my life, I played soccer, and that was year round for me. So I played on a few different teams throughout the year. I did a couple other sports growing up here and there, danced when I was younger, but mostly it was soccer from very early age.
Did you go to a big school or a small school?
So I would always argue growing up that it was like a medium to small school. I had like 250 people, give or take, in my graduating class.
Okay.
I moved to Nebraska. I realized I cannot call it a small school anymore.
Yeah. We're used to people that had less than 100.
Yeah, mine was 40.
Yeah.
And we were a big class.
Yeah. I'm assuming
I think
that
there
it
were-
was a little
There are
different.
probably 250 people in
The whole
Harrison's
school.
entire high school.
The whole school, all
Hey,
four
maybe
grades.
less than that.
300. No, you might be spot on with 250.
That's why I was kind of asking, because I assumed it's a little bit different, but smaller than LPS schools.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay.
And then as I ventured into college, and I went to college at UMass Lowell, I switched from playing soccer to playing rugby. So I played 4 years of rugby in my undergrad career.
Okay, now I don't know anything about rugby.
I know we're excited about
I
this.
don't think I've watched 1 second of rugby on
Not in-
television.
Not in the Olympics, or you haven't seen any clips. He doesn't even know who Alona Amar is.
On this show, you know how you hear like the average Joe?
Yep.
We say average Jeff.
Well, I know who she is.
'Cause I just don't know much of anything outside of like football.
Yeah, I think
So-
you would like rugby, but okay.
Okay. Go ahead. So tell us about rugby.
Oh gosh. I don't even know where to begin. I would think, again, from a very basic point of view, well, there's two big distinctions. A lot of what people are seeing in the Olympics is called sevens rugby. And this is kind of what also makes the sport kind of unique, in the sense that there are two different types of rugby. You have sevens rugby, which is very fast paced. It is 7-minute half, 14-minute games. That's what we're seeing in the Olympics.
Oh.
And then you have 15s. 15s is, I would say, when you see more of the traditional larger scale, longer paced games. These are like 90 minutes, 40 to 45 minute, halves, big games. A lot of people, I know we talked about this already, kind of compare it to a little bit of football, because it's kind of what it looks like setup wise,
Right.
along with some elements of soccer. But it is a rough sport. It is definitely one of those sports where it is beyond just hitting people and getting back up. Because I always said that it takes a special kind of crazy to play a sport where you're not wearing anything basically padding wise other than a mouth guard, and continually getting knocked down and getting back up and wanting to continue to run. For sevens rugby, so as I said, that was 7-minute half, 14-minute games, very fast paced. That's a lot of running, because it's the same size field, same size pitch. And so if you have some speed in you, if you like to run, sevens is definitely your game. Whereas 15s, it's slower pace, but there's 15 people on the field
Okay.
per side. And so because there's more players on the field, it's just a larger setup. And obviously it takes a little bit harder to get up and down the field. One of the things that I loved about rugby when I switched over and wanted to change up from soccer is that what I started to realize is there really is a spot on the pitch in 15s for every body size, which I think was pretty unique, where whether you were very tall or very short and fast, whether you were, short and kind of stocky, there really was a position for everyone. And your number was associated with that position. And so the more I got into it and realizing there was ways to capitalize, if you are short and stocky, why you would want to be in this position, or if you're someone who can, hit a breakaway really quick, why we want you on the side of the field as a wing so you could just take off and go. But the really nice thing when I was playing women's rugby, and I played at the club level, was we were getting individuals who've never played rugby before. They were brand spanking new to the sport coming into college. And most of them had the same story as I did, where they just wanted to change up from what they played in high school growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So you had a lot of people from different backgrounds sports-wise. You had your field hockey players, your lacrosse players, softball, soccer, basketball, volleyball, all coming together with different mechanics and seeing how it blended in so well into rugby. Whereas I would argue on the men's side, you had individuals who maybe played football or wrestled, or even some of them who played rugby growing up. So just kind of seeing how that made a difference when you were getting people to learn about the sport and play the sport. But at the same time, we didn't have that long of a time frame most times to really tell people how to play the sport. So it was like, hey, here's like 2 weeks of a rundown of everything you need to know about rugby. And then we're going to throw you on the pitch in this position that we think you're going to be good with. Just keep your head up, keep your head on a swivel. And you're going to do great. Go get them. And it actually worked out a lot of times in our favor, because again, we try to lean into the strengths, especially of the freshmen who had no idea what they were doing. We're like, you're fast, you like to run, you're going to go in this position. You seem like you could take a hit, you're going in this position. But what really kept people around was that family aspect, feeling like they are a part of a team. But I could go on for hours about trying to explain rugby, but until I actually show you a video or like let you
Right.
watch like a sevens match, I would do a horrible job explaining it because I would keep forgetting these very important aspects of it.
Yeah.
So scoring, are you just? I don't even know what type of ball that is used in this.
It looks like a football, kind
Okay.
of.
It's like a very inflated football.
Okay.
A couple key points here. What makes it very different than football is you can't throw the ball forward.
Okay.
Everything has to be lateral or backwards.
Okay.
And so just basic physics here. You're like, okay, how do you move forward
Mm-hmm.
if you can't throw forward? Well, that's where running
Right.
onto the ball comes into play a lot. Where the position that I played was a scrum half, and I'm gonna throw terms out here, so I apologize if I'm just like throwing them out to the winds. But basically, you can kind of use the idea of like a quarterback, because unlike football where you had a lot of stoppage, with rugby it's just continuous. Someone gets tackled, you have a ruck, which is when people are like over the ball, and then the ball would get brought out of that ruck from the ground, and then usually it was me would have the ball in my hand, and I would either throw it laterally or behind me to someone running onto the ball.
Okay.
And so that was why it was super important that I had people who I was trying to throw to running onto the ball. Because number one, it's a lot harder to stop that person when they get the ball if they're already running at top speed.
Kind of like the option, right?
Yeah.
Running the option in football. Okay.
And then the other thing too is you need that momentum because you want to keep pushing forward. So if they stop the ball when they catch it and they were behind me, I'm going to lose meters. We're going to lose yardage.
Right.
So you want them to be going, even if it's 5 yards, you want them to keep going forward. And so, as I said, like in sevens, when there's less people on the pitch and there's more open space, that's where you want to have those like longer throws, those big breakaways. And that's what kind of makes the Olympics exciting because you see these big breakaways happen on this basically football size field. Where in 15s, there's a lot more like stop and go, not actually stopping the play, but you see people getting tackled, the ruck happens, and you have it out again. And you stop, and the ruck happens, and you go out again.
Right.
But the way it works is basically kind of like football. You have that like the try zone, the end zone. Now, the other crazy part with rugby is that you you actually have to have the ball touch the ground.
Okay.
So unlike football where you just got to get into the zone.
Right.
In rugby, the ball has to touch the ground and it has to be controlled. I can't just throw it on the ground. I have to bring my body with the ball in control on the ground.
Okay.
So let's just add to that fun. There are certain ways that even when someone is in the try zone, if you really have the opportunity and it's a close match, that you could technically scoop underneath the opponent and prevent them from touching the ground.
Okay.
That does not count as a try. And that's the score term, is a try.
Okay.
Seen it happen a handful of times, and it is brutal because you work so hard to get there, and then someone just scoops it right underneath you, or they knock the ball out from you, and it doesn't count.
Any glory stories? Like you scored the winning try, is that what it's called? I was going to say touchdown.
Not all about football.
So I can't tell you the exact game. There's definitely been times where I can remember some good breakaways. So again, similar to football, we also kick for extra points.
Okay.
Now, once again, just to make things fun, unlike football where it's like the same positioning every single time, when you look at the try zone, wherever that person scored in that try zone, you basically take that mark and walk backwards onto the pitch. I can go as far back onto the pitch, onto the field as possible, like close to the 50-yard line if I wanted to, but I had to stay in line, like width-wise of wherever it was.
Okay.
And that's where you see a lot of times people will get in the try zone. You're like, well, why don't they just put it down immediately? They want to try to get to as center of a point as possible so that you can walk back and kick. Otherwise, if you're on the edge, which I've had to do, you have to put it on a tee, and that kicker from that angle has to take that hit.
Okay.
So
makes sense.
I would say victory-wise for me as an individual, making some of those impossible kicks, that's where my soccer background really came into play. It was really great.
And so, like, anyone could kick?
So, technically speaking, yes, anyone could kick, but that's where Ken trying to figure out strengths before a match of, like, who has a soccer background, or, like, when we go to kick, when we practice kicks.
But you could play multiple positions then.
Kicking-wise,
Kind of.
the person who kicks, because kicks aren't as, like, you kick off, and then more times than not, I would see the person who takes the extra points for the kick would be the one that does the kickoff. Not always. But position-wise itself, because I remember the number
Yeah.
played a key role, you basically stay in that same role. Now, what'll happen is in 15s, for example, and I've seen this happen a handful of times. Let's just say, because funny enough, with rugby, sometimes the size of the jerseys will also match up the position. They try to make it that way.
Mhm.
Let's just say we have someone who was larger trying to fit into a smaller size, like wing, fast-paced jersey, and that number wouldn't fit, or that number was already being used. Someone gets hurt and they had to come off the pitch. The sir or the ma'am, which is the official, would just have to be noted, okay, number 30 is actually the wing position. So for the most part, you stayed where you're supposed to, unless an injury happened or something happened where we had to switch. And then the sir or the ma'am had to identify who that person is. So it's very technical. Very technical.
Wow.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. I want to learn more. I think it'd be fun, but it seems very rough.
Yeah.
Like we were talking
Yeah.
about, it's like football in the 30s.
Yeah.
Before helmets and
Pads
and
you
face
don't
mask and
have
anything.
any of that, but you're still crashing into people.
It kind of sounds like
like
we all-
backyard football.
I was just gonna say, like we want to get hit and then we get up and run.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't make it through those scrums. There's no way. Like I can see like why the people in rugby have just insane quads. Because I'd imagine, I don't know how long those scrums can drag out for, but
the sir or ma'am is supposed to, what'll happen is if it's going and the ball isn't really going one direction or other, they will stop. It'll be a non-successful scrum. But some of the key factors that with that one is, yeah, like it is a lot, especially if you're in the scrum. And that's where I said, like, that's where sometimes we try to match up like body sizes. And if I was to go into positions like our locks, when you see the really tall individuals, because of how they are positioned in a scrum, they are almost parallel to the ground because they have their heads locked in and they're basically using all of their leg strength to move the scrum forward over the ball because it's on the ground. This is kind of like the start of a play.
Yeah.
To push it over, to help all the other people push forward so that my position, the scrum half, can grab that ball once it's eventually at a point and push it off. And then we start to go. Again, this is where I say, without seeing what I'm talking about, sounds
I'm picturing like a jump ball, but on the ground, like a basketball jump ball in the air, but it's on the ground.
Then you hear
and
stories
wrestling.
of like you hear stories of in the pile, like to get a fumble.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Well, right. That's
can-
very
Farley twisting ankles.
Yeah. Well, some of the crazy parts too is that like there is something like called like collapsing the scrum, where like if a team like loses their balance, they start to fall, like the scrum is done for safety reasons. I've had it multiple times where one of the scariest, in my opinion, of all the things that are rugby that are terrifying. Yeah, you see those big crazy tackles and the things that look like hurt. To me, a broken scrum is one of the scariest because especially those locks, because their heads are just down there. And if their heads get moved the wrong way, like I've heard people just scream and you don't know who it is and you don't know why they're screaming. So everyone does the whole
fantastic.
I think I'd be probably one of those sticks on the end there, just trying to get completely horizontal. So that sounds terrifying.
But,
all right. Well, we do need to take a break.
Yes.
So stay with us. We'll be right back. 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk about trading up. Not what you're thinking. You could never trade her in, but you can trade up her stone if you like. Signify the growth of your love, the challenges you have overcome, or any part of your love journey by trading up her diamond. Whether it's been 5 years, 25 years, or 50, say it with a bling. Big love, big bling. We got you. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics. We are joined in studio by Annalisa. She is the Assistant Director of Employee Wellness at UNL. All right. And she's a big rugby player. So if you want to know anything about rugby, she'd be somebody to talk to. She was educating us in the last segment about it.
Yep.
All right. So this segment, we like to find out who your favorite NFL team is and how you became a fan. And being from Massachusetts, I can probably only guess who your favorite team is, but I'll let you take the floor. Favorite team?
I am a Patriots fan.
Which, now you say you're Patriots. It's interesting how this works. You say
People
you're a
are
Patriots
like,
fan now.
They feel bad for
Yeah,
you a
people
little
are like,
bit. Unlike 5 years ago or however many years ago.
6 years ago, you say you're a Patriots fan. You're like,
I actually like Tom Brady. I'll be honest. I never got to that point because he was one of those quarterbacks who was just like he believed it so much. I couldn't help but like him. He was a maniac. Tom Brady. He wanted to win so bad. Like I
did too.
Hate him for it.
I did too. But yeah, so we're confirming.
Yes.
You are a Patriots fan, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I am a Patriots
And how did you become a fan? Like, when did it become,
I think, my grandfather, my mom's dad, was a big Patriots fan. And I think you get just kind of immersed in that atmosphere being from New England.
Mhm.
And so it was, when you have people, especially when you're little and you're at school and you're kind of either listening to people talk about football, whatever else, and everyone's talking about the Patriots, it kind of just becomes a thing. My dad is actually born and raised in Italy, so he never really grew up having an NFL team, being associated with a team. So for him, the reason he really was a Patriots fan as well, they'd always have the game on at the restaurant that he owns. And so same thing for him. In order for him to kind of be a part of the conversation, and they would just listen to it on the radio, he started to watch and follow and everything else. So it just became a thing to have on the TV on Sunday nights or Monday nights or Thursday nights. So that's kind of how I became a Patriots fan. And then as I got older, it was more by choice, where I actually looked forward to football season and watching on Thursday nights and watching on Sunday nights and talking about it, that week at school.
So we have a lot of Chiefs fans that live here, right? And
a lot of parallels.
Proximity.
Yeah. I mean, very parallel to Patriots and Chiefs. So when I complain about the refs and stuff about the Chiefs now, and the Chiefs fans are like, oh, and I'm like, now, what did you say when the Patriots were winning? Oh, well, back then it was totally rigged for Tom Brady, right? But now that it's Mahomes, like, what are you I don't see anything. This is that they're cheating. They're they roughed the passer. It's legit. They hit him. Where back then the Chiefs fans were like, they hated the Patriots.
But do you think that it was the same back then? We just didn't have the social media spotlight that we do now. Was it legitimately they got the calls the way the Chiefs do? I don't know, because I don't remember.
I just think officiating's bad, and it's actually been bad for a long time.
Has it gotten worse?
And the team that wins a lot is the team that's on national television a lot, which is the team
that's
that
what I'm saying.
ultimately
Is
everyone's
it
going to complain about.
legitimately worse now?
I don't think it is.
They've changed the rules of NFL to protect the quarterback a little more. So
Yeah.
I've seen clips of Brady just getting lit up.
Yeah.
And there's
no,
but that's how it was played back then. Where now it's like,
yeah, because Brady's wide receivers were getting lit up anytime he played the Ravens because Ray Lewis was in the middle.
Yeah, so it's just different now. But do you remember hearing that criticism of, the Patriots are favored, the NFL wants Brady this, Brady that? You remember those days? And how did you handle that when people would come at you?
Yeah. So even though we were pretty heavy in our high school of Patriots fan, we still, being in New England, it's a smaller area. So you had a good population still of Giants fans, of Bill fans. So you had other people kind of chirping in here and there. They always had their piece. I also went to school with the nephew of, at the time, the Giants head coach. And so he always had...
Oh my gosh.
Coughlin?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't going to try to name drop. I was like, it's going to be obvious. And so it was very interesting to get his perspective and listening to all the things that he was saying. And so it wasn't even just refs are bad. He had data that he was bringing forward. And at that point I was like, I like football. I don't like football that much, dude. It is what it is. I always just found it very comical that people would pour their heart and souls into just hating the Patriots. And at the end of the day, I'm like, do you feel better? Because guess what? It's not going to change anything.
I know that's what we were talking about.
Your life is the same.
That's what we were talking about the first segment. It was like, our kids are Ravens fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they just lost a heartbreaker to the Bills, and the kids were just distraught, and Ben's just questioning his life choices and this and that. He doesn't
want to watch football anymore.
He's gonna work. He's like but now he's come around. Now he's all in on the Bills for today because he's come to his senses. But it's like, yeah, we put all this emotional energy into these things, and we have no control over it.
Nope.
It's just
It's
like
silly.
And I was looking at that through his eyes, because now back when I was his age in the mid 90s, I mean, Nebraska that was it. Like I'm like, you guys, we lost 3 games over 5 years, and all of them we got screwed. So like now it's like, oh, we lost 5 games in a row versus 3 games over 5 years, But I mean, I remember just being in tears after Nebraska would lose. Like, it was just that big of a deal. So now I'm kind of going back to when I was that age. And it's like, Ben, you've been dealing with this for 5 years. It's been 40 for me with the Bears. Like, I mean, they don't ever win. At least you guys are in a position to do well. So it's just interesting. And we didn't know a lot of Patriots fans
No.
during that time. Like, one of our instructors at Farrell's in Altoona was a Patriots fan. That's the only Patriots fans we knew. So it wasn't like we were
from New England. So
yeah, he was from Boston.
Legit.
Enrico, I don't know the story. Why? Enrique Alvarez Clare.
Yeah, he probably jumped on the bandwagon.
Had to have been.
Oh,
I'm sure we have
absolutely.
footage sometime when he was our producer explaining why he's a fan.
I don't know if we've ever asked him that.
I think we have.
Oh, okay.
We got to go to break.
All
We're
right.
over.
Well, now when we come back, we're actually going to talk about some health and fitness and wellness on the Fitness Fanatics. So stay with us. 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Having diabetes doesn't have to ruin your new year. Join a Nebraska-supported program like Living Well with Diabetes. You'll learn how to manage your symptoms, feel more confident, and reduce stress about your diagnosis. Search Nebraska Living Well with Diabetes and click on the DHHS Healthy Living Programs page to learn more. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Hey, bestie! Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own. Always in the driver's seat, huh? Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot. Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop. Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you can trust.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through January 26th, enjoy USDA Choice 8-ounce New York strip steaks for $6.88 each. Thick-cut Iowa pork chops for $1.99 per pound. Fresh ham loaves for $2.99 per pound. And Busch Light 30-packs for $18.99. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
This is Matt Rule bragging about the Big Ten, but at the same time, they made it to their bowl game.
6-6 for me. Yeah, we went to a bowl. We won it. And we won it playing against a team without their best two players. I'm not really buying that, me personally. I think we're a 500 team right now. I don't think we deserve to go to a bowl game. I'm glad we went because we got a chance finally to get some extra work. They got a chance to feel how it feels to go to a bowl game. So that's all done. But taking care of what you need to take care of, I think, comes first.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Fitness Fanatics is sponsored by Modern Woodmen of America. Founded in 1883, Modern Woodmen offers financial services and member benefits to individuals and families throughout the U.S. For more information, please call Sean Erickson at 402-483-6515. Modern Woodmen of America, touching lives, securing futures. So big shout out to them. Maybe I should call that number and see when Sean's going to be back into the gym working out.
I know.
If I can get a hold of him,
It's been a minute.
I'm going to have to call the Modern Woodmen office.
That's not where you text them all the time.
I know. I'm just kidding. I would like to see him, though.
I know.
All right. All right. Okay. Let's get into what you do at UNL. But first, I'd like to know, like, you went to school in Massachusetts. How did somebody from Massachusetts wind up in Lincoln, Nebraska?
I actually get asked this a lot. So I got my master's in sport and recreation management from Springfield College, which is in Springfield, Massachusetts. And a part of that program was I needed an internship. Now, through my time in my undergrad, I spent a lot of time at the campus recreation center at UMass Lowell between rugby, and I was a personal trainer. I started teaching group fitness. I always make the joke that, yes, I have a degree from the University of Massachusetts Lowell in biology with a minor in gender studies. But I really got an education in campus rec because that's just where I was all the time.
Yeah.
And I decided, you know what? I want to pursue collegiate recreation professionally, which is how I got into my master's. Well, I needed an internship for that master's, but funny enough, there aren't a lot of internships in campus recreation. But as my luck would have it, the summer that I needed the internship, the recreation center here at UNL was looking for an intern to help with their youth programs, their summer camps. I had some backgrounds at UMass Lowell with their summer camps. I said, this is great. This would be a really cool opportunity. And, I've never been to the Midwest before. So, let's go for it. I applied and they felt that I was a good fit. And I was like, this is great. This is awesome. So the idea was that whole summer of 2019, I'd be out here working in youth programs. So I came out here, and to think back to that, I flew out here, no car. I knew one person here in Nebraska because they went to school at Lowell before they came and transferred to here as a grad student. And basically I was set up with housing in the sense that the person who I knew these people, told me their names, and I was like, okay, great. Didn't really think anything of it, to then realize, oh, I'm living with 3 random dudes in a house off of South 14th Street with no car, and I have to walk to work every morning. My poor parents, bless their souls, for being like, yeah, have fun with that. Ended up being the best experience of my entire life, though. They treated me so well. They were so respectful. They picked me up from the airport. They made sure I had everything I needed. They had the room set up for me. They had a husky that I absolutely fell in love with. So it had such a great home feeling. And yeah, I was still walking back and forth for work every day, but the experience I had that summer changed my life in the sense of I fell in love with the Midwest. So saying that I'm from New England and I absolutely love the Midwest says a lot, but love the experience. And I said, if I ever have the opportunity to get back out here, I would. Well, went back to finish my master's. And if we all remember what happened in 2020, that lovely time, I was just about to finish my master's and I was like, hey, I need a full-time job. Well, the group fitness coordinator position at UNL happened to open up. And I had scheduled interviews where I was flying out at different universities to work at their campus rec centers, but Lincoln was the only one I actually made it out to before the pandemic took over, almost again, as luck would have it. So I flew out, had the interview, flew back home, had like weeks of flights planned out for different places, and was getting canceled. And I was like, oh gosh, they're going to cancel Lincoln too because they're not going to need a group fitness coordinator if everything's shut down.
Right.
But as it would be, they were like, hey, we want to hire you. You obviously have a history here. You really love it here. And your passion for this place really makes us think you're going to be a good fit. So I was like, awesome, great. But it's the pandemic. So like, what does this look like now? Like, I'm in Massachusetts. Obviously, are we remote? What's going on? They're like, oh, we won't need you here till like midsummer. You're fine. Well, another phone call came in. Hey, could you come out earlier? And by earlier, they meant May. I was like, sure, I guess, because I'm not going into school anymore. And
Right.
so when I say that I submitted my final paperwork in a hotel room for my master's program, I was sitting in Davenport, Iowa, in a hotel that had no one else in it, as I did a 3-day road trip with everything I owned in the back of a car to move out here. And just was like, all right, well, I guess this is my master's. Congrats to me.
Yay.
Click. And then I got here, had a quarantine for 2 weeks, and then we had all these different rules and regulations. Like, I didn't even really get to meet my full staff of instructors or even my coworkers for the longest time because we were doing like little pods of who could be in the office when. So I was learning about what it would be like to be the group fitness coordinator, social distancing. What does that look like? How do I get people to take classes?
While everyone was trying to figure that out too at the same time for everything.
So then, and then like on a personal side, like I just moved out here. I knew more people this time because I had the internship, but still I was like, what do I do? Like, I can't even get to know the area again because it's the pandemic. Things are closed. I'm in an apartment. Couldn't even really have like legit furniture because you couldn't go to furniture stores and things were so backed up because the manufacturing plants were down. So basically that happened. Got myself out here. And I was in that role professionally till about 2022. And it was a great experience. I absolutely loved it.
So what did that all entail? Like, because when you say like group fitness coordinator, I don't, again, this is average Jeff talking. Like, what type of group fitness classes does UNL offer? Like, I mean, I guess I don't really know.
Yeah. So within that role, the main piece is overseeing the group fitness program. That is like the number one element of it. So that means the schedule, the marketing, hiring of the instructors, overseeing the instructors. And those classes were yoga, bar. I eventually brought back in Pilates, which is still now a hot class to take. Cycle, strength. We had some meditation kind of classes, just some general dance classes. So there's a good variety.
Cool.
TRX was another big one. We had some type of like a strength circuit on our East Campus location. So the weekly schedule for both locations on East Campus and City Campus, that was my main role, was really overseeing that. But then in addition, we would book out private classes. So like if a club or organization on campus wanted like a cycle class just for them, like I would organize that. I also taught 2 academic courses within Campus Rec. So it was intro to group fitness, where students would come in for a 1-credit course and throughout the semester would try out different group fitness classes. And then the other academic was intro into group fitness instruction. And so basically that brought them through the ACE certification course. And at the very end, they could make the decision of, hey, I just wanted this for credit, or hey, I want this for credit and I'm going to take the ACE course now to be an instructor. And I'm probably missing tons of important things. But as it is now, that role is overseen by Hattie Roberts, who was actually one of my instructors who turned into my intern, who then turned into my graduate assistant, and has taken that job and just brought it way beyond even what I was able to do. She has the personality that fits so well. She's so bubbly and so sweet and so passionate. She is perfect for that role. But yeah, really that role is overseeing the group fitness classes and schedule and kind of allowing those opportunities for our students.
Very cool.
All right. And then from there,
So in 2022, this role, the employee wellness role, was brought to the table as basically was started as the university diversity commissions spoke with our chancellor on the idea of like, hey, between discussions and surveys and all these other things that we've been doing with our employees, they feel as though they need more wellness services that are directed to them because we have a lot of well-being and wellness services on campus. But as it would have it, they're directed towards students and employees wanted
Right.
it to be more, hey, I know this is definitely for me. I don't want to just do a challenge that a student's doing because my needs are a little different. So they decided we need someone whose whole deal at the university is employees so that they are aware of what services are available to them, how they need to utilize it, running challenges and programs and events for employees and not making it like a part of their job.
right.
And so the position was brought forward and campus recreation decided to take on the role within their department because it was kind of like, where does it live? Does it live in HR? Does it live, where is it going? So Amy Lanham, who is our current director of campus recreation, agreed to take on the role in the sense of a supervisory role, saying she would within campus rec oversee it. When I saw that job opportunity opened up, I kind of took a chance there. I said, you know what? I have some experience with employee wellness programming from when I was a grad student. Let me see if I can take a swing at it. I interviewed, was absolutely terrified. And I told myself, there's no way they're going to let a 25-year-old run a service for employees of over 8,000 staff and faculty at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I actually was just finishing teaching a bar class and I saw, it was my director, but I saw the phone call come through and I ignored it because I was teaching. Afterwards, I called her back and I was like, hey, thanks for the phone call. What's going on? Like, just, trying to be very casual, knowing what that call was. And she was like, would you like to consider the role? And I was, again, trying to be so professional and so, like, absolutely. Thank you so much. I hung up that phone and I just screamed in just pure bliss. I was so excited. But then it hit me that, oh gosh, this is a program that's brand new. I don't know what to do. Like, I had a couple points that they wanted me to focus on, but really they were like, okay, figure it out. So again, 25, couple bullet points of focal points.
Yeah.
No communication list. No idea of like what standards I was supposed to follow, no framework. And they're like, have fun.
Because that's you. You're the one creating that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I will say, like, those first couple months was just me communicating with different units and colleges within that space of like, what do I do? Because I'm not in HR. So I can't just lean on that area. But at the same time, like, I don't even know who do I communicate with? How do I get contact? Like, there is a master list of contacts, but they don't just hand that out to anyone.
Right.
And so those first couple months was just me figuring things out, trying to figure out what to do. But the biggest success, the final point where I was like, oh, I got this. Like, I think we're going to do well here, was we put together a wellness fair in the October of 2022. We had vendors from within the university and some local vendors. And the idea was the event was just for employees. And so we did the marketing we put it together, we had people show up and people started to show up. And at that moment, slowly but surely, it became real of like, oh, like employees like this. They want this. And so using that contact list that we got from that event, it was probably about 180, 190 people, is how I started communicating out. Like, oh, we're going to do this challenge. Oh, we're going to do this program. Oh, are you aware of these resources? And then slowly but surely, the more challenges, the more programs, more opportunities, we just started collecting more and more and more contacts. And then we would get testimonials based on how they felt like it went. And we just grew from there. So it was an interesting experience in the very beginning because looking back, I really was just like, I don't even know where to start here. But a lot of it was just trial and error and pure hope.
It was kind of like
getting feedback.
Our first radio show, and Mark was like, the intro comes in, Fitness Fanatics, and then it's just silent. And it's just us like, hi, I'm Jeff. This is Nicole. But now it's just like, oh, well, we're rolling in. Here we go. All right. Well, we're going to take a
Sometimes you have
break
to do that.
and then we'll come back. We'll keep this conversation going with Annalisa. So stay with us. 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry? Am I right? Now, I'm not suggesting you have to rush, but if you're considering making a significant move, do your planning. We offer financing and payment plans. Lock down your selection with confidence. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through January 26th, enjoy USDA Choice 8-ounce New York strip steaks for $6.88 each, thick-cut Iowa pork chops for $1.99 per pound, fresh ham loaves for $2.99 per pound, and Busch Light 30-packs for $18.99. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Ever stare at the Hog Wild menu and feel like you just can't make up your mind because it all looks so good? Well, when I want a little bit of everything, I get a little bit of everything on Hog Wild's Smokestack Sandwich. On a butter-toasted bun, we pile on our hickory smoked beef brisket and juicy hot links. The hard part is choosing between fresh curly fries, classic baked beans, or coleslaw on the side. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool,
robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Welcome back into Fitness Fanatics. All right. So we've been chatting with Annalisa from UNL. That's University of Nebraska-Lincoln, if you live under a rock. All right. So we're talking about the corporate wellness. Nicole, you were wanting to kind of compare like what corporate wellness was when we were in the corporate world, which would be now 18 years ago. When we were in the corporate world. We both worked at John Deere Financial in Des Moines versus what it looks like now. So
because I'm sure it's very different.
I don't remember having anything.
Yeah, you do. You remember, I mean, I feel like I guess it was, a lot of it was tied with fundraising and stuff.
I mean, I guess we didn't work out then. So
no, we did not.
Maybe we weren't looking to do something.
Maybe there were opportunities. And
I was too busy getting
weren't on that part of the intranet.
I remember before I started working out, I bought those khaki pants that had the stretchable waistband. Not even adjustable. It was like the stretchy waistband. They're like, oh well, these pants fit good, even though they can go out a few inches. But, and I don't have to physically do it. They just kind of like
that's true.
I used to have a pair of pants like that.
They still have those. I think they have their place, but yeah.
So I wasn't looking to be active.
Like, our experience with corporate wellness was like the intranet and just being like, hey, here's this business. They're offering this for you. You're on your own, basically. Like we didn't have any type of probably the stuff that you guys offer now. It was really just like, I think there was a Curves across the street. That I was a part of.
Yep, you did that.
I did do Curves. Yep. It was just right across the street. I'd go during lunchtime.
Yep.
So I did remember doing that. I dabbled in that a little bit, but
What's Curves? Is that just a gym?
It was a gym. Yeah.
Curves for women.
Yeah. I don't think it's around anymore, but it was like they had like these hydraulic machines that like the faster, like you're doing a chest press, the faster you go, like the harder the resistance was. And it was like 8 stations or something, and you would like spend a time there, and then the thing would ding and you'd go to the next one, and then it ding, and it just went constantly. But I don't know, it got me moving, I guess. I don't know.
How long did you
I
go
think
there
we had
for?
Weight Watchers meetings at work.
Okay.
We definitely had Weight Watchers meetings at work.
Okay.
Because I did that too,
I forgot about Weight Watchers.
I didn't do any of that
which is hilarious because I probably weighed 130 pounds. It's ridiculous. I'm not needing Weight Watchers, but immersed in it and eating my Yoplait 1-point yogurt, talking to my friend Shelly about it, and we'd go to the meeting. So that was wellness for us.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So how has that changed?
Drastically.
I know. Yes.
So the hard part when it comes to employee wellness, corporate wellness, is that like many other things, but there really is no one size fits all. And each company, each business is going to do it a little differently. Some places will do it where it's very tied into your benefits. So the company that you use your benefits through, whatever insurance company it is, they might run your employee wellness program. They may have an incentive program, or, you have your, you go to your annual physical and you do this and you get this,
we had that. We'd have a health screening.
Yeah, we did do that
once a year, which, when you think about it now, it really kind of skewed more towards benefiting the company than it did benefiting the person. Because, we didn't really get any direction. They were just collecting data. We didn't get, there was no therapeutic like answer to these are your issues. This is what you should do to fix it. It was really just data collection now that I think about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's one direction. There are other companies, especially larger scale companies, where they might hire an individual like me to come in and run on-site programming, have virtual programming where you're going to do like a step challenge or a water drinking challenge. But the idea with that individual or that program is their whole focal point is, okay, what is that data that they're collecting and what is it showing in your workplace, and what resources or, programming or services can you offer to maybe assist with that? And so with UNL, couple different elements that I learned, especially within that first year, is number one, physical well-being, extremely important. That's how you move, how you sleep, what you eat, that element of the play. Are you going to your primary cares? Are you taking care of yourself? But there's so many other perspectives and pillars of well-being that truly identifies with a person of like, do I feel well? A really good way that I tend to explain this to is like, you could look at a person and be like, oh, they look healthy. They're based on how they look like, but it's when someone's behind closed doors and the door is shut and the windows are shut and the lights are off and they're laying in bed. How do you feel? And what goes into that? Because again, someone could look healthy, but maybe socially they haven't seen their friends and family in a while. That's really hurting them. Maybe they're coping with things that, again, you don't see physically, but emotionally or mentally are going after them. And those elements are critical to someone's well-being. Something else we talk a lot about is financial well-being, where when I tell someone, oh, I'm, employee wellness, that's not the first thing they think of, but finances, again, every single day, all day long, something that could be on someone's mind that could decide whether or not they are going to the doctors, whether they are eating, let alone eating quote unquote well,
Right.
whether they have a gym membership or they have equipment to work out. And so there's so many aspects that have now gone into employee wellness. And what companies and businesses are beginning to realize is while it's not the business's responsibility to hold that person's hand and physically bring them into a gym or physically bring them into the doctors, the idea now is what are the resources, services, and programs that we are offering to our employees so that they can take care of themselves, that they can be the best versions of themselves and are motivated to be well. And I think that aspect of motivating employees to feel better and giving them the resources for them to use is important. But it's more than just here's a packet of information, do something with it. It's like, why?
Right.
Why do I care? Why should I care about myself? Why, should I put forth the extra effort to making sure I feel well? Because again, it benefits both sides. You want the person to feel well, but then you also want to make sure from a business perspective with your employees, are they happy? Do they feel like they matter? Because when you want to talk about retention rates and everything else at a company, it's way more than just you're giving them a paycheck.
Well, and we were talking off air too. This isn't like, an insurance company, because a lot of your employees are front facing with the students too. So that is definitely like a domino effect, I would think. So I think that's something that is probably a little bit different from your perspective versus like our John Deere Financial corporate wellness, because we're not like shaping the future,
Well,
like
true.
students. Yeah.
We're just
and not every employee obviously is working with students, but
Right.
still, I think that's another probably important aspect that you have to kind of consider.
When it comes to collegiate wellness, when it comes to their employees, I think that that's a big element. And I mean, we see this with other jobs. We see this with teaching
Yes.
as well. But the idea is, you see the stress of the students and what they're going through. And, they're at a very pivotal point in their lives and they're learning about themselves and they're in the stress because of the classes they're taking. And maybe they're trying to get an internship, but that stress does follow. Regardless of what role you have at the university, I believe that, you can definitely see during finals time that just stress in general rises. And it's not just the students, it's everyone. Even when students are coming back to campus, there's kind of that anxious of like, how will the semester go?
Right.
And I think that that's something that we don't often think about with the university setting. Because, I mean, a lot of it's student focused as it is. Like that's part of the business. But those employees, it makes or breaks it. Their stress level, their well-being, they are front facing to those students. So if they're not doing well, if they're not being well, think about how that affects the students.
And it bridges that gap because, again, off air, we were talking about how like different campus life is. And so, as the staff gets kind of the age gap between the staff and the students continues to grow or whatever, it's so much different. So they can't say like, oh, well, when I was in college, this is what I did. So it's nice that they're getting a refresher and hopefully having these resources that align with what the students are actually hopefully pursuing, or at least saying like, hey, this is something that's helped me. And then they can offer that to us, just the advice or whatever.
Well, I think it's, we talk about as an employee of the campus, whether you are facing students in an academic sense or in a student life sense, you want to mimic or you want to showcase, taking care of yourself and, being your best self and, focusing on your mental health and everything else. And it's very hard to have a facade where you're like, I'm happy, I'm this, I'm doing well, and trying to put that towards the students because eventually they're going to see the truth of it. If they're seeing you quite often, they're going to see the truth of it. Now, that's easier said than done, though, because again, it's still a job. And the thing is, even with what's going on within the job, you also have a life outside the job. And those factors play a huge role in your well being. And so the other hard part with employee wellness is I only have a certain amount of time during the day where someone's physically on campus. But with my programming, I also speak with and handle individuals who are on extension centers across the state. So while I would love to offer a ton of in-person programming, I really can't because access wise, not only am I that would be ripping people away from their departments, which I cannot do. But someone from Scottsbluff is not going to make the drive to come sit into a 1-hour webinar series with me in person and be like, oh, that was great. Let me drive the 8+ hours back now. So that accessibility piece is critical. And I think balancing out how many like live in-person type of programming that's exciting and, that they have hands-on pieces with the accessible piece of a challenge that they can do for themselves in their own time that fits their needs. Because as both of you probably are very well aware, fitness and well-being is not the same for each person. Like I like to say fitness has a lot of faces because for some people moving their body, it could be because, I'm young and I just got out of college and I still have a ton of energy. And right now I have some time to myself, but I use fitness to help with my stress management as I'm getting ready to enter into the quote unquote adult world versus someone who's trying to move their body and they were an athlete in high school and now they're in their 40s and they have no desire to motivate. Their body's starting to hurt. They've been inactive for many years. Where do they go to? So because fitness and wellness in a sense has so many different faces, trying to find all those resources and access points is difficult. And that's where the idea of with student wellness, like they have targeted pieces for individuals that are in that 18 to 24 range piece of their life. Whereas with my stuff, I'm dealing with individuals who are potentially 18, depending on what role they have at the university, all the way through their 70s. And so you can only imagine so many different life points that someone's in and trying to have resources for all of them. It's been a little bit of a guessing game, but the longer I've been in this and the more programs we've done and seeing the accessibility points, things are falling into line now. And so now really it's like, okay, easier time finding out like what resources are we missing and where do we feel like we're not hitting the marks. And thankfully I also do get some of the data at an aggregate level so that when someone's like, I fill out the survey, what happens for it? I get to see it and that helps me identify, ooh, okay, this is what the data is showing. I need this resource on campus. Or ooh, this is new, this changed from last year. What's going on? What's events are going on to showcase why these numbers have shifted so drastically and what can we do to help fix that?
Yeah. So what are some of your biggest challenges then?
So communication and marketing will always be a big challenge because as I said, about probably a little over 8,000 faculty and staff. They don't all choose the same type of communication. They don't all read emails the same. They don't all follow social media the same. And so it's trying to figure out and balance out how to communicate certain pieces. And every time I feel like I've got it, I always get I didn't know that was happening.
Oh my gosh.
And
That-
it's just,
we have 450 members, and we get that with
Yes,
the
I can't
450
imagine.
versus
8,000.
8,000.
Yeah.
I send an email. Well, I don't read email. Well, we had it posted. Well, I don't know. Like, well, I can't
I
deliver
can't have a
everything.
carrier pigeon
Right.
bring it to your house with a note.
yeah. And so
I can see how that would be difficult.
really what I've tried to do is try to make it as concise and particular. Like, I will share things in Nebraska today. I will put things on the calendar. I have a monthly newsletter, which I let people volunteer to submit to. So I'm not just like spamming their emails.
Yeah.
But I try to communicate as often as I can. I also have wellness liaisons that I send them emails being like, hey, please open and share this at like a staff meeting. And that's been helpful. But again, 8,000 plus people, I'm going to miss people all the time.
Yeah.
But the idea is the number one thing, the goal I always have is to have a program that's so good that word of mouth is like what's happening, that people are just talking about it. And so people are interested because they hear about it.
Right.
And so that's always kind of that golden nugget. That's where I want to get to, is that it's so good that people are just talking about it. But in the meantime, social media, Nebraska Today, email newsletters.
What are some of the things that you've done that have worked like really well? I know you said like the health fair, but anything else like water challenges or step challenges, or what have been your success stories over the last couple of years that have got people out there moving?
So definitely the annual fall wellness fair is always going to be, it is just a fun event for employees. And like the testimonials that we get back from that event is like, oh, I got to see friends that I never get to see on campus. And I love that it's just for employees. And I love that I get to learn about things that I wasn't aware of and maybe I wouldn't know about. That's always going to be like one of my favorite things to do every year. One of the most successful programs, and this was not this past November, but the November before, we did a gratitude challenge where every single day, all it was that people registered for the program and they got a daily email over 3 weeks, kind of near that holiday time frame, about, what is gratitude, expressing gratitude, focusing on gratitude. And they had a journal prompt they got to write in, and they did a little fun web game. Like, it was meant to be just something positive to be in their email every single day. That was a huge hit.
That's
We
cool.
got so many, because again, it's a different look into, it had nothing to do with your physical well-being in its entirety. It was something that was meant on emotional, social, mental well-being.
Yeah, because like how easy is it to just go through the motions of every day and not have those moments of gratitude? Like to just have a reminder to be thankful for something, anything, and I think that's something that people don't think about a lot.
And then one of my other goals with the program is that every year it changes, not because it has to, but because I want it to, because I want it to be dynamic. I want it to be something that it's exciting, that every year there's something new to look at. So this year in 2025, we received recognition to offer the CDC diabetes prevention program. And that actually starts on Monday. And that is a once a week mandatory meeting. I allowed it to be hybrid so people can Zoom in or be in person.
Yeah.
Where we're going through different lifestyles and, habits that they can do to help with their, A1C levels or just their numbers in general, their weight, to reduce their risk of getting type 2 diabetes.
Ticket listeners are very aware because we have lots of commercials about that. 1 in 4, right? 1 in 4.
Yeah. My karaoke friend Jeff.
And my nemesis, it was the nemesis.
Oh,
is
okay.
Jeff, but yeah.
My nemesis, Jeff.
Yes.
He may be.
But that is, that's awesome.
So that was a huge win for us. And, the idea is that every year we're adding more things. And it's also based on, this is why I tell people all the time, like, whether it's good or bad, you need to let me know how things are going. Am I missing the mark? Am I not accessible enough? What needs to be added? What needs to be done? And so, I think just that, and then just the community that has been built, the people who, now I have, I think 1,300 individuals who receive my monthly newsletter, and it continues to grow every single month. And it's, what to me shows is that people are aware of the program and they want to know more, which is extremely helpful.
All right. Well, before we go to break, you mentioned we can't physically get people to do stuff. I always, our members will say, oh, I wish you had a bus that drove around and picked us up. And I'm like, yeah, we'd go to your house, we'd be knocking on the door, and it's like, when some salesman comes to the door, and I'm like, turn the lights off.
Yeah.
You're just hiding under the bed. Jeff and Nicole are out here with the Farrell's bus. We're not home. That still wouldn't get you out because you just hide under your bed. Like, you have to want to do it.
Yes.
Or you won't do it.
Right. Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to go to break. We'll be back and finish up with Annalisa. So stay with us. 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hey, it's Chad with Nutrition Authority inviting you to stop in and check out the #1 selling complete post-workout product, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out, exercises, or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today, try a free sample, or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Bryant at 402-467-1111 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-1111.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier dealership, stocking top brands such as Can-Am, Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Indian Motorcycles, Sea-Doo, Manitou pontoon boats, and Triton trailers. Come check out Nebraska's newest Indian motorcycle dealership and ring in the new year the right way on an Indian motorcycle. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft to ring in the new year at their new 27th and I-80 location.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you Go Big Red!
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. We got a couple minutes here. We're going to finish up with Annalisa. So going away from the UNL, I just want to talk about, like, or have you, if we have anybody out there, it's like, oh, I'm struggling. I don't know where to get started.
Well, a lot of times you just need to hear the same thing from different sources, right? You know, so sometimes it's like you just got to hear. And so one of the things I like to tell our members, jokingly, but also kind of serious, is that they're not special. But when I say that, it's not the mean you're not special. It's just that, like, we all have our own barriers to what is keeping us from our goals. And that doesn't make us special. It makes us normal. And when you can normalize your struggles, then it makes it a little bit easier to overcome. And so, you know, you're in the fitness world, we're in the fitness world. We have a lot of the same struggles, as leaders. And so it's nice to hear other leaders saying the same thing. So we were kind of talking off air about discipline. So kind of talk about like your thought process towards discipline. You offer all of these things, but it's still up to the individual. And this is anything, not just corporate wellness. This is like lifetime wellness, right? So go ahead and talk about that from your perspective.
Yeah, I think one element with discipline that we don't tend to talk a lot about is that discipline will change and has to change through the different stages of life.
Mm-hmm.
So what motivated you, what got you to be healthy or well when you were 18, 19, 20, where maybe you were living on a college campus and had access to a campus recreation center that was, you know, close to your residence hall, and that you had a dining hall that pre-prepared all your food, is going to look different than when you are living in an apartment and maybe starting a job and now you have to buy your own food and prepare your own food. It's going to look a little different when you're maybe in your late 20s, early 30s, even 40s, where like you're now in a family and now it's beyond just you. That discipline will shift. Those desires, those motivations will shift. And I think people try to hold on to what used to be and they let that circle for a while. To, you know, the point of even being someone in fitness and wellness. I will say that I just had, and I will say just had because it still feels brand spanking new, my first child.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you that was a humbling experience in regards to my fitness and wellness, humbling experience. And I will say I had every resource that I needed in the sense of like I was well educated on what resources were made available to me for both me and the baby. I did what I felt was as much preparation ahead of time so that when he arrived that I was good to go. And I have an incredible support system, both here in Nebraska and back home in Massachusetts. And, you know, still super humbling because I did not put in perspective that even though I have an incredible husband that will say like, hey, you want an hour to yourself to go to the gym? Absolutely. You go to the gym. I got the baby. I got this. And I have no fear of anything happening when he has that child. And that I have in-laws, same thing. If I was to ever say like, hey, I just need time for myself, they would be there in a heartbeat. I have brother-in-laws and sisters. I have everything. But yet still there was something in me that I didn't want to move. I didn't want to go back to the gym. And I loved working out. And to me, it again brought to that perspective of I didn't shift my discipline when I had that baby. It wasn't because I couldn't do the boot camp classes and high intensity workout. I had zero motivation to just walk. Now,
it's gonna be a long time maybe till you have that energy again. And that's okay.
Just now getting to the point where I'm like, I'm good. We've got this situated.
Yeah.
We're happy. And again, like this is someone who worked out her entire life.
Yeah. You're not just picking up where you left off.
And so I had to take a bit of my own advice and be like, hey, smart one. You talk about changes of discipline during different life cycles. Like this is what you mean. Like, this is your real life example.
Yeah.
Um,
You are not special.
No, exactly.
You're
And
normal. This is a normal experience
normal
for
mom.
every mom,
And so, but
and you're in like best case scenario.
Oh yeah,
situation.
And so that was
Yeah.
kind of one of those like things where like I had to have a piece of humble pie, quote unquote, and say like, just get up and start moving.
Well, and we talk about, I mean, everybody in this space talks about your why, and now your why has changed.
Yes.
And it does have to become something more sustainable and into your life now. So like your why before was totally different. But now your why is, that longevity for your child and have that energy and be able, that if you exercise, you're going to sleep better because sleep is such a like rare commodity. So you still need to prioritize that movement. It might not look like what it did before, but we don't do that. We just think, oh, we're going to unplug. We unplugged it for a little bit. We'll plug it right back in and it'll go back to normal. And that doesn't happen.
I think some of the statements that I heard that just really hit home with me is that me moving my body allows me to be the best employee, mom, wife, sister, friend, because it makes me a better, happier person. But at the same time, it doesn't mean I have to do boot camp. I have to, it means going on a walk, going and lifting for 30 minutes, going and just being in a space that I could move my body and have some peace and quiet to my own thoughts.
Go on a walk and listen to something, a podcast or music, something that like enriches your mind at the same time. That's a shift, where it used to maybe was an escape from whatever, but now you have to immerse it into your real life too.
Yeah. I also, one of the things that I think fitness and wellness professionals have a really bad habit with is, we like to put ourselves on podiums. We have to be the best this. We have to look the best this. We have to act the best this. But there are some times where like it is tough because when you're pouring from that cup constantly, it gets old after a while, especially when you're not refilling it. And I think, after having my son and, now being in the space and mental space that I'm in now, the idea is I don't want him exposed to an individual who is constantly talking bad about themselves.
Yes.
Constantly in the space where like, oh, before you, I was fit. Before you, I was this. Like, that's not his fault. That is not his.
See what you did to me and stuff.
No.
I do give my kids a hard time about that when I have to go to the bathroom a lot on road trips because they wrecked my bladder. But
why are we stopping all the time?
They're 18 and 21, so I can't really blame them too much longer.
Yeah. So I think that's just the important piece of like that, and also having someone in their life where they're like, oh, like they work out because it makes them happy, not because it's a bad thing or a thing they're not looking forward to. Like having that positive flip on fitness and wellness, I think is an important thing for them to be exposed to.
Yeah. Well, thank
All right.
you
Yes,
so
that
much
was and
for
we
joining us.
We ran out of time. Like we could have gone a whole nother segment with you.
Yeah.
So all
Thank
right, we
you so
appreciate you
much.
taking time in. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. 92.7 The Ticket.